Welcome back. Tonight, the outcome of a runoff election to determine the president of the United Auto Workers Union has not been announced. It is the first time in the union's history members were able to directly vote for their president.
Today, incumbent Ray Curry filed a protest saying he believes thousands of union members were not able to vote, among some other issues that his team says demand an immediate investigation. Automotive News reporter Mike Martinez is here with us today to help us break down this controversy. Thanks for joining us, Mike. So what is going on here? Is this just the latest example of kind of classic election denialism, or is there something to these claims?
Well, the timing of Ray Curry's claims are certainly interesting. This election started last fall. It was the first round. Nobody got a majority, so it moved to a runoff. You didn't hear any complaints in that first round. You didn't hear any complaints until now, when the voting really is winding down. They're almost done with the count, so you wonder about the motives here a little bit. But Ray Curry has raised a number of issues that he says are a big deal and could have swung the outcome either way.
1,600 votes being challenged, correct?
1,600 ballots right now that they're working to determine whether or not those union members who voted are actually in good standing. So that's all that's left to count. There were about 140,000 total ballots.
And what does this mean for someone that's in this union? Potentially, whether this goes one way or the other here?
Well, you're looking at security for the future. The union for the past few years has been embroiled in scandal, quite frankly, and these members want to make sure that their leaders are held accountable and that they can move forward to push for new contracts with automakers like Ford and GM and Stellantis, so they can really secure their futures for the next 4 years and beyond.
So there are election monitors, federal election monitors, keeping an eye on this. Have they raised any concerns or said there were any red flags?
The monitor hasn't commented as of late today to Curry's claims, but to your point, yeah, we have a third-party independent group that is watching over this and conducting this election. So you would hope that you could feel secure about the results and the outcomes, although you may need to take a look at it depending on what Curry said here.
Depending on the outcome here, whether it's Fain or Curry, does this impact in any way the consumer at the end of the day that is going to purchase an automobile?
Well, down the road it could, because you're looking at this union that's going to push for more concessions from the automakers this fall in their contracts. They're going to want better pay. They're going to want more job security. For the automakers, they don't want to increase their own costs, and they could eventually pass that down to consumers. You could see the price of vehicles rise as a result.
So they are calling for an investigation. Any response yet? Any idea of what comes next?
Not quite sure yet. The count is still continuing to finish those last challenged ballots. They're still outstanding. Moving forward, even if it's not the monitor that's reviewing this, you could always file a challenge with the Department of Labor. You see that quite often in terms of elections for different unions. So really, this could drag out for a while. It could be resolved quickly depending on what the monitor says about Curry's questions here.
Do we know the biggest differences between these two candidates?
You know, to be honest with you, they're both calling for reforms. They're both calling for a lot of investment from the companies that they bargain with. A lot of the difference really comes down to messaging and perception. Shawn Fain has run as a challenger, working as a reformer to say the establishment, the status quo is no good anymore. Let's usher in a new era for the UAW.
All right, Mike Martinez, reporter with Automotive News, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.